how to go beast mode and change your dating life. Now, if you clicked on this video, the chances are your dating life is not where you want it to be. My first question to you would be, on a level of 1 to 10, with what level of intensity are you trying to change your dating life? Most men would say something like 6, 7, or 8. Well, I'm going to the gym, I downloaded Tinder, I bought a new wardrobe, I go out once a week with my buddies, and I'm even watching some YouTube videos to help me improve. Okay, and now ask yourself, what does hypothetical level 10 intensity look like for you? Just imagine, hypothetically, what would it look like if you gave it your all? Like, actually pause this video, ask yourself this question, and think. Now, Jesse Itzler, who's an American entrepreneur with 200 million plus net worth, asked himself this exact same question when his goal was to become physically and mentally tougher and also to get into a better shape. To do this, he could potentially run every day, take cold showers, go to the gym, hire a nutritionist to give him meal plans, train MMA, but he wanted to give his absolute best, and he was thinking of ways of how he could do that. And then one day it hit him. He asked a Navy SEAL to come live with him for 30 days and to do everything that this guy tells him to do. And not just any Navy SEAL, but David Goggins, a guy who has completed over 60 ultra marathons, triathlons, and ultra triathlons, and the guy who holds the Guinness World Record for doing the most amount of pull-ups in 24 hours. On the first day, Goggins wanted to see how many pull-ups Jesse could do, so he asked him to do his max reps, and Jesse did 8 pull-ups. Goggins then told him to wait for 30 seconds and to go again. Jesse did that and did 4. Same thing, wait for 30 seconds and do it again. This time Jesse struggled to do even 1 pull-up and barely got over the bar. Now this is the interesting part. Jesse, who was all jacked up from the pull-ups, assumed that they were done because he couldn't physically do any more pull-ups. So he asked Goggins, what's next? And then Goggins told him, what's next is you do 100 more pull-ups and we're not leaving this room until you do them. And the next few minutes, Jesse actually managed to do 7 more pull-ups, and then he told Goggins that it was physically impossible for him to do more pull-ups. Goggins then told Jesse, look man, I already know what your biggest problem is that the limitations you're putting on yourself are self-imposed. Now get the F back on the bar. And over the next 2 hours, Jesse actually managed to do 100 more pull-ups. And after it was done, and Jesse was physically exhausted and actually couldn't lift his arms, Goggins told him, I'm about to take you places you've never been before. And over the next 30 days, Goggins made Jesse do things that he thought he could never actually do. One day, there was an emergency weather warning that told people to stay inside for safety because of freezing rain and icy conditions. And Goggins then went into Jesse's room and told him, let's go for a run. And they went for a 10-mile run in a blizzard. And after that, Goggins made Jesse to go into a frozen lake. And after that, he was so cold and freezing that he was literally crawling back to the house. Another day when Jesse was in between his business meetings, Goggins showed up and told Jesse burpee test and made him do as many burpees as he could before his next meeting. So he literally had to go in the next meeting all sweating and jacked up. Now that is level 10 intensity. And if this all sounds terrible, Jesse actually later said that these 30 days were actually the best days of his life. And the point that I want to make is that you don't necessarily need a level 10 intensity to change your dating life. But what you do need to admit is to be honest with yourself and the fact that your current level of intensity is probably more like 1 or 2 rather than 7. Most men's biggest problem is that they have no confidence and they don't know how to flirt with women. And when I ask most men how many women they've talked to and approached in the last 30 days, most of them tell me less than 5. That is literally nothing. Doing 10 approaches per day, 3 times per week is the absolute minimum that you need to do to get better at this. And I would say that's level 4 or 5 intensity. Anything lower than that, you're just wasting your time. And if you think that's a lot, I've done 30 plus approaches in one day and it was nothing. And the next time you tell yourself that you're too shy to approach, too introverted, you don't have time, remember that those are only limitations you're putting on yourself. And higher intensity doesn't mean to do more stuff. It actually means doing less stuff. Spending 2 hours to find the perfect cologne in a shopping mall might feel like you're working on your dating life, but it's meaningless. Going to a language class for 3 months so you have an opportunity to date with maybe 2 women in a social setting, waste of time. Unless, of course, your goal is to improve language, which is another topic. Unless you're a bum living on a street or extremely overweight, all you need to do is go talk to more women and get better at this. And essentially just level up your intensity. It's as simple as that. The bottom line is that your level of intensity needs to match your level of priority. Let's be honest, having some sort of physical and emotional connection / intimacy with a girl or women in general that you genuinely like is one of the top priorities you can have in life as a guy. It's a basic human need. Without it, nothing really matters and life kind of sucks. I regularly talk to successful men as far as their careers go who have been sexually and emotionally frustrated for years and who have buried themselves in work to hide these issues until they cannot hide them anymore. Or maybe they have crippling social anxiety and they've been hiding behind their phone screens for years until they realize that it's slowly destroying their life. Most likely you agree that this is a top priority for you too, since you are watching this video. And the problem here is that for most guys, their level of intensity simply doesn't match the level of priority. They might have a level of 8 or 9 priority for fixing their dating life, but then they attack it with level 2 priority by just going to the gym and swiping on Tinder for 30 minutes per day. The sooner you face the reality and admit to yourself that you need to put more effort, the sooner you can start changing your dating life for real. So again, ask yourself, what would a hypothetical level 10 intensity look like for you to change your dating life? And again, based on that, increase your current level of intensity to at least 5, 6, or 7 and go from there. And if you resonate with the Jesse story and you also want to hire someone to help you do all these things and tell you exactly what to do and to hold you accountable and to push you beyond the limits that you've imposed on yourself, book a free diagnostic dating call below and we can talk about it.